What if I told you that one anime, just 10 episodes, no filler, no hand-holding, walked into a room full of established anime giants, looked Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer dead in the eyes, and said, "Move. I got here." And somehow it worked. That was Cyberpunk, Edgerunners in 2022. It won Anime of the Year. It single-handedly resurrected a video game. It made grown adults cry over a guy in a jacket named David Martinez. And now, right now, in 2026, Night City is calling us back. Welcome back to Anime's Update, the channel that keeps you ahead of every drop, every reveal, and every moment that matters in anime. I'm your host, and today we are diving deep into the most electric anime announcement of the year, Cyberpunk, Edgerunners 2. The teaser trailer just dropped. The hype is absolutely unreal, and we have got a lot to break down. So before we go any further, if you are new here, smash that subscribe button right now and hit the bell icon so you never miss a single update. Trust me, you don't want to be the last one to know when Night City comes knocking. All right, let's plug in. So let's set the scene real quick, because context is everything. The year is 2022. CD Projekt Red, the studio behind Cyberpunk 2077, teams up with Studio Trigger, arguably the most stylistically explosive anime studio on the planet. The people who gave us Kill La Kill, Promare, SSSS.Gridman, these guys. Together, they produce a 10-episode anime that the gaming world figured would be decent promotional material. A nice little tie-in. A commercial, basically. Except it wasn't. It was art. Cyberpunk. Edgerunners followed David Martinez, a broke kid from the wrong side of Night City, who stumbles into the world of Edgerunners after tragedy rips his life apart. And what followed was a roller coaster of neon-drenched action, gut-punch emotion, and character writing so sharp it left marks. The show ended in a way that left the entire internet devastated in the best possible way, and then proceeded to do something almost no anime has ever done. It saved its own video game. Cyberpunk 2077 had a rough launch. You know the story. Bugs. Controversy. Refunds. But after Edgerunners dropped on Netflix, Cyberpunk 2077 player counts jumped by 200%. 20 million copies sold in the weeks that followed. The game became genuinely beloved. That is not a promo campaign, that is a cultural event. Edgerunners didn't ride Cyberpunk 2077's wave. It created an entirely new one. And that wave? It never really stopped. Fast forward to right now, June 29th, 2026, and CD Projekt Red and Studio Trigger have officially dropped the second teaser trailer for Cyberpunk, Edgerunners 2, and the internet is already on fire. The clip premiered on the official Cyberpunk 2077 YouTube channel, and the tagline from Netflix says everything you need to know. New crew. Same chaos. That's it. That's the pitch. And honestly, it works. This is a standalone sequel. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Standalone. They are not trying to undo the ending of Season 1. They are not pulling David Martinez out of a plot hole. They are not doing fan service just to play it safe. Instead, they're doing something braver, building an entirely new story in the same world, with a fresh cast, fresh stakes, and presumably fresh emotional damage waiting to wreck us all over again. The official description calls it a raw chronicle of redemption and revenge. 5 words. And already I feel things I am not emotionally prepared for. Redemption. Revenge. In Night City, where every light is neon and every shadow hides something that wants you dead. Buckle up, chums. Now let's talk about who's actually running this thing. Because the creative team behind Edgerunners 2 is stacked. And I don't mean pretty good stacked, I mean why is this much talent in one room stacked? Directing is Kai Ikarashi, who is making his full directorial debut here. Now if that name doesn't immediately ring a bell, let me remind you. Ikarashi directed episode 6 of the original Edgerunners. The one titled Girl on Fire. The one that is widely considered one of the most visually stunning single episodes in anime history. He also has credits on SSSS.Gridman. So yeah, the guy they handed the director's chair to for this sequel already has receipts. Character design is being handled by Ichigo Kano, who worked on Promare and the original Edgerunners. If you've seen Promare, you already know what kind of visual chaos this person is capable of. The color palette alone will probably break your monitor. Masahiko Otsuka, also known as the CEO of Studio Trigger, no big deal, is handling screenplay. And then there's Bartosz Stybor, the Hugo Award-winning writer who is back as showrunner, story writer, and producer. After the Season 2 announcement dropped in 2025, Stybor posted on social media, "I'm writing, producing, and showrunning, so be prepared for sadness." Be prepared for sadness. You know what, man? At this point, we've been warned. We have officially been warned, and we're still walking in. That's how good this franchise is. Okay, so now comes the part that every anime fan lives for, the character reveals. Because with a standalone story, you need a new crew that can carry the emotional weight. And based on what's been teased so far, these 4 characters are already doing heavy lifting just from their descriptions alone. Let's start with Weak Kingsley. Once upon a time, this man was known simply as King, a veteran edgerunner at the top of his game, the best of the best. And now, he lives in the shadow of his former glory. That is a character arc set up in one sentence. A fallen legend trying to find his footing again in a city that has no patience for weakness. The name Weak isn't just ironic, it's a scar. And in Night City, scars either make you or break you. Then there's D, short name. Massive energy. D is a Snake Nation netrunner hunting down the killer that wiped out his entire clan. Revenge story. Personal loss. A man with one goal and nothing left to lose, which in Night City makes you the most dangerous person in any room. D's scar across his face isn't just design, it's a reminder. He carries it everywhere he goes. Roman Carax is probably the wild card I'm most curious about. He's described as a young cinephile, a lover of film, searching for real stories in a city that abandoned cinema for braindances. He literally carries a camcorder around Night City, documenting the legends around him. Think about that. In a world where people jack directly into simulated experiences, this kid still believes in the power of a lens and a real story. That is either the most beautiful thing in Night City, or the most dangerous. And finally, Talia Yang. She hails from the Corpo Towers, the elite, the privileged, the people Night City was actually built for. But her heart belongs to chrome and violence. She's got vibrant pink hair, a black tactical mask, and what I can only describe as the energy of someone who looked at a comfortable life and said, "Nah." Talia is the chaos that corporate structure could never contain. And honestly, that is a character I need to know everything about immediately. For characters. For completely different stories. For reasons why this crew is already more interesting than most anime casts 2 seasons in. And speaking of teasing us, the trailer music deserves its own moment, because this is a choice and it is a statement. The teaser features an original score from Sunio Imahori, who composed for Trigun, a legend in his own right. But the song layered over the footage is called You Can't Run From Me, written by Maria Kelly and Drew Polovic, performed by Rico Nasty. If you know Rico Nasty, you know that energy, sharp, relentless, not asking for permission. That's Night City in musical form. Just like the original Edgerunners used I Really Want to Stay at Your House by Rosa Walton to absolutely destroy our emotions. This sequel seems to understand that the right music doesn't just accompany the visuals, it becomes inseparable from them. You Can't Run From Me, playing over a world of mercenaries and corpo killers and digital nightmares? That is not a coincidence. That is intention. That is craft. Now let's zoom out for a second and talk about something bigger, because Cyberpunk, Edgerunners 2 isn't just another sequel. It's a statement about where anime and gaming intersect in 2026. After Edgerunners launched in 2022, the idea that an anime adaptation could genuinely elevate a video game, not just market it, but actually change how people felt about it, became real. Other studios started paying attention. Game companies started whispering about their own potential anime tie-ins. And Projekt Red, rather than treating that success as a one-time trick, took their time, made sure the sequel was right, and assembled a team that wasn't just capable, but genuinely passionate about Night City. And here's the thing. The pressure on Edgerunners 2 is enormous, but it's also a different kind of pressure than most sequels face. The first season ended so definitively that there's no pressure to continue a story. There's only pressure to match a standard. To prove that Night City has more than one great story to tell. That Trigger can do this not just once, but again. That the emotional gut punch wasn't a lightning-in-a-bottle moment. It's repeatable. Based on everything we know about the crew, the characters, and the direction, the answer seems to be yes. And the fact that Cyberpunk 2077 recorded nearly 90,000 concurrent players on Steam the day before this trailer dropped tells you everything about how much this franchise still matters to people. Projekt Red is also deep in development on Cyberpunk 2, codenamed Orion. So this sequel isn't just a standalone story. It's the bridge between where Night City was and where it's going next. Every new fan Edgerunners 2 brings into the world is a future player, a future reader, a future part of this universe expanding in every direction. So what's next? Mark your calendars. Anime Expo 2026 has a dedicated Cyberpunk Edgerunners 2 panel locked in for July 3rd. Key members of the creative team will be there, and if past Anime Expo panels are any guide, we're almost certainly looking at new character details, story context, and possibly a fuller trailer with actual substantial footage. After what we got from this teaser, a full trailer is going to be an event in itself. And look, fans have already been doing their homework. Eagle-eyed viewers notice details in the new poster that some are interpreting as hints this might have prequel elements. Nothing confirmed, nothing official, but that's the fun of this era of the reveal cycle. The community is already dissecting every pixel, every frame, every word choice. Roman Carrick's documenting everything with his camcorder might be more than just a character trait. It might be a narrative device. Talia Yong coming from the Corpo Towers might connect to threads from the original game. Dee's revenge story might cross paths with names we already know. Night City is a small city when it wants to be. Let's take a beat and appreciate something. Cyberpunk. Edgerunners 2 is arriving at a time when anime itself is in a historic moment. The medium has never been more globally visible, more critically respected, or more commercially powerful than it is right now. And within that moment, a show like Edgerunners 2 carries a kind of weight that goes beyond episode counts and streaming numbers. It represents what's possible when a game studio, an anime studio, and a streaming platform all actually trust each other enough to make something that doesn't feel like a product. The original Edgerunners felt like a labor of love disguised as a tie-in. The sequel, from everything we can see, is aiming for the same thing except this time. Everyone knows it can be done. There's no uncertainty about whether anime and cyberpunk can coexist. They already proved it. Now it's about going higher. Kaya Karashi taking the director's chair for the first time. Ichigo Kano pushing the character design further. Bartosz Stybor promising sadness. Sunio Imahori scoring it. Rico Nasty on the playlist. Studio Trigger animating every frame. Fall 2026 on Netflix. Exclusively. This isn't just an anime sequel. This is Night City saying, "You thought you were done with us? We're not done with you." And let me be real with you for a second. The reason this matters so much, the reason my feed has been blowing up about this for the last 24 hours, is because Edgerunners earned it. It earned every bit of anticipation we're feeling right now. Not through marketing. Not through franchise obligation. Through 10 episodes of genuinely excellent storytelling that respected its audience enough to end hard, end honestly, and end beautifully. When a show does that, the sequel isn't just a new season. It's a responsibility. And from the director who made one of the most stunning single episodes of anime in recent memory, to a writing team warning us to prepare for emotional devastation, to 4 new characters who already feel lived in just from their descriptions, Edgerunners 2 seems to understand that responsibility deeply. New crew. Same chaos. Yeah, we're ready. So that is where we stand right now. Brand new teaser. Brand new crew: Week Kingsley, D, Roman Carricks, Talia Yong. Same studio. Same city. Bartosz Stybor back and already threatening our emotional well-being. Fall 2026 on Netflix. Anime Expo panel coming July 3rd, where we will almost certainly get even more. This is the start of what is shaping up to be one of the biggest anime rollouts of the year, and you do not want to miss a single second of it. If you haven't already subscribed to Anime's update and smash that bell icon so YouTube notifies you the moment we drop new coverage. Because we will be here for every character reveal, every new trailer, every panel breakdown, every fan theory, and every moment this franchise gives us something to talk about. This story is just getting started, and so is our coverage. Thank you so much for watching. Night City doesn't stop, and neither do we.